SportsLink, brought to you each week by Pure Alkaline Water, Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.
I'm here with Mara Tamayo, Lavana Roman, and Hannah Rojas, who play rugby for the Mount women's rugby team. You guys already played 3 games this season. Tell us how so far the season's been going for you guys.
So far we played Harvard and LIU, which is Long Island University. We also challenged Manhattanville, but that was a sevens tournament. For Harvard, unfortunately we lost, but for LIU, we won. And that was an achievement for us. We're striving to get to the top 4 in our division, and we have to prepare a lot for the next upcoming games.
Well, Lavana and Hannah, you guys are both seniors on the team. Any goals or expectations for this season?
Well, not specifically for this season, but my whole 4 years in general, it was a personal goal that I wanted to make for myself, that I wanted to make the starting roster all my 4 years for every single game, no matter if it was 15s or 7s. Like, that was just my goal of just like working hard, and then my reward was just getting on the roster and playing in the starting 15 or 7.
For me, it's really been about like leaving everything I have on the field. As a forward, it's really competitive. We have a lot of people in the same position, and I always wanted to put in as much work on the field as I can before our subs come in.
I know there's quite a few girls on the team that, you know, came from the island. And how has the roles for the Guam girls been on the team, and how have they impacted this year's season?
We gain a lot of respect, like every single year. It doesn't matter like where, like what school you come from, or whether public or private. Like, we gain a ton amount of respect because we work hard. Like, we put our bodies in the line. We're willing to learn. Like, we're coachable. Like, we just like to be open to new things. And I know Guam was like, the rugby was very like physical, and now since we've been out here, it's very technical now, and we have to start thinking about a lot of things. So our coach really pushed us to do that, as well as our team. So when we go back to Guam and when we like share our experiences, we'll just be like, you have to keep an open mind, because the way we play rugby in Guam is different from the way we play rugby out here, and we just have to learn to adjust.
I would say that coming from Guam and playing all the way out here in Maryland, it gives me a large sense of pride, because not only are there girls here playing at the Mount, but there's girls playing at Dartmouth, there's girls playing at American International University, and just the mere fact that all these women, especially coming from Guam and playing this massive physical sport, it just fills me with so much pride and happiness that, hey, we may come from a small island, but we're here to show the entire world that we can put up a fight.
I think coming from Guam and coming from such a small island too, just like Vana said, we do gain a ton of respect for one another, and we do create a huge bond here. It really didn't matter if we came from like Ukuru or Academy or GW. We all play as one here, and it's fun representing our small island.
Here with Michael QUITUGUA, OCR competitor, represented Guam out in Vermont. Just talk about the event and how things went for you out there.
Yes, so I did about 3 races in the obstacle course racing world championships in Vermont. And I did first the 3K pro men's division. That was on Friday. And then on a Saturday, I did the 100-meter sprint obstacle course. And then on Sunday, I did a team co-ed relay.
The 100-meter event, I know that was just a short, compact course, but it seemed like you were able to breeze through it rather smoothly.
Relatively smoothly. Of course, there was a few hiccups along the way. We only had 2 chances within an hour to do our 2 runs. So I had to really study the course beforehand and try my best. A few times I had to redo an obstacle because I didn't fall, but I didn't necessarily go through it real smoothly. So I just essentially restarted that same obstacle and tried my best to pick up time. And that was essentially the course that I was focusing on out of all three of them.
How was the weather? I know in previous competitions, sometimes it was cold, sometimes it was rainy and wet.
Yeah, so on the first day, it was starting to rain, and I was already preparing to be cold and wet. And then thankfully, and at noon when I was starting my first race, the sun started to come up and dry up the course, and it continued to be dry and sunny and warm. It was relatively warm throughout the rest of the weekend, so it wasn't too bad.
And how was it traveling with the Guam team, supporting one another and just, representing the island?
Oh, I mean, it was fantastic. We carpooled. We drove from New York and drove all the way up the East Coast to Vermont and stopped along the way to one of their in-laws in, Connecticut. So it was maybe a 3-4 drive along the way. And we just all supported each other and did some warm-ups and trained and got mentally prepared.
And what's next for you?
The next competition? Well, it's, of course, next year I'll be competing again, and I plan to qualify. But in between that, I'm training to do the ANAA, American Ninja Alliance, or something like that. Anyways, it's a ninja competition in the States, and we should be having qualifiers here on Guam, and then competing in, I think, Las Vegas for the championships, I believe.
KIARRA Hutchinson, 2021 graduate of Notre Dame High School, recently getting the call up to play for the MASAKADA, our women's national soccer team. Where were you when you got the word, and how did you feel when they announced that you are vying for the goalkeeping spot on the team?
I would say it happened when I got back from the training camp when we traveled to Chula Vista. After I had finished training with the U20s, when I came back, seeing as I had both aged out of that age group, I had started training with the MASAKADA, but I really got word for it when we found out that we were going to Lebanon, but then, all of that stuff changing. But that was when I found out that I was being called up to really play for our team.
And it shows your hard work's paid off. You've been in the program for a while now, and what does it say to the coaching staff to believe in your skills and what you offer to play on the women's national team?
I've been in the national program since I was 12, so recently it would be about 6 years, and it's truly an honor to be called up, especially because when I first traveled with MASAKADA, I was about 14 years old, and now that I'm actually having the chance to start for them is really a show of my progress as a keeper, and that my coaches truly have faith in me, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really excited to represent our island in this upcoming tournament.
The goalkeeping position is a tough position facing, teams overseas. And, for you personally, what are some of the things that you do to prepare yourself for your position?
I take my coach's advice definitely into consideration whenever I'm doing something, especially when it comes to set plays and new possible playing styles that we're doing. And with that, I'm able to adjust and figure out what I need to do, as well as communicate with my teammates as well, because soccer is it's a great sport, but it makes it even better when the team is able to communicate properly with each other. And that's a part of my job as a goalkeeper, learning to be able to communicate with my teammates and being able to support them in any way I can.
Well, you were able to get in offensively for the Royals and score some goals the last time you played high school soccer. So seeing that side of the game and translating it to the defensive side, how has that helped you as far as maybe just vision on the field in general?
I find that goalkeeping actually helped me play striker more than striker helping me play goalkeeping, for the basic fact that I was originally a goalkeeper and then got put up to striker, so I already understood what the keeper was looking for and what angles that is really hard for a keeper to get. It's one of those things. And so it helped me more offensively than it did defensively. In all honesty, it's really nerve-wracking because the last time Guam was invited to play in this tournament like this was when I was born. So it's nerve-wracking, it's an honor, and I'm really excited to be able to partake in this because it's been such a long time since Guam was invited out to participate in this tournament. And I really think that we can come out successful.
I'm here with Jared Wells, match director for the Pacific Rimfire Shootout. Let's talk about your background with shooting and a little bit about how you got involved with the sport.
My shooting background, so I've been around firearms since I was a kid. You know, growing up, I was always taught to view a firearm as a tool, not a toy. So with that, you need a proper training, education, to be disciplined, you know, in order to safely handle a firearm. So keeping those keys in mind, that's how we kind of came up with the Pacific Rimfire Shootout. It's a great introductory to all levels of shooting, from, you know, entry level youngers up to expert level shooters. This platform provides a great environment for that. It encompasses, I'd say, the basic marksmanship skills. So you have your bench rest, your standing, seated, prone, and kneeling. Those are all your basic positions. No run and gun, no moving targets, everything's static. It is timed, but the time limits are very, very forgiving, I guess. You know, you have a lot of time to do everything.
Tell us when the event's going to take place and where it's going to be held. So
this event takes place on October 9th, and it is exclusively at Sportsland Shooting Range in Jigo. So October 9th, that's this will be the last one for the year. And then, of course, the 2022 season should kick off in January.
How many competitors are you guys expecting? And tell us how, I guess, the format's going to be on shooting day.
This is I'd say this competition is in its infant stages, but as we have it right now, we average 12 to 15 competitors, and that's covers a wide range of age groups. And as far as the format goes, point system is based on 100 points. Every challenge, there's 5 challenges. Every challenge has a 20-point possible earning. So every competitor will shoot all 5 challenges, and then your scores will be tallied up at the end. And so really all that's required is a rifle and a box of bullets. About it. The best way to get a hold of us or get in touch or sign up would be through the website, PacificRimfireShootout.com. And if you're looking for more information or where to acquire a firearm or ammunition or anything like that, all the links to Guam's best sources are on that website as well.
Make sure to catch all your NFL action right here on the stations of KUAM. Monday, October 4th at 3 in the morning, NFL on CBS, KUAM TV 11. We have a doubleheader for you. Kansas City Chiefs at Philadelphia Eagles. Then at 6:25 in the morning, more NFL on CBS. Pittsburgh Steelers at the Green Bay Packers. Change the channel over to KUAM TV 8, 10:20 in the morning, NBC Sunday Night Football. Tom Brady going to be making his way back to New England as the Buccaneers take on the Patriots.
SportsLink brought to you each week by Pure Alkaline Water, Mariana's Irrigation and Landscape.